Hey guys, I'm Glitter Valkyrie, and today we're going to pull for one of my most wanted characters in the entire series. I am a huge fan of Marianne. She's my favorite female character from Three Houses, and I am just so excited that she is here. So we can talk about all these wonderful characters as we go along, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the plan today is going to be to pull blues and greens, and I really do like Linhardt. He's a character that I thought was very intelligent and he was very likable, but he's going to be a 3 to 4 star, and I want the other characters very, very badly, so I'm going to try to be a little bit smart with my orbs and just go for the 5-star focus colors. Marianne is obviously my number one. She is my most wanted character added to Fae aside from Urk, so she's definitely the one I want the most, but I will be happy with the other ones too. And let's go ahead and grab that last green. You know, I made a bingo board at the beginning of this year with a bunch of characters that I wanted added to Fae, and it's actually looking really good with the past few banners. We have Dedue, who is on the list, and the only reason that Ingrid wasn't on there was because she was already in Fae with her summer alt. So overall, I think it was a really good choice of characters for the banner, and the only thing that could have made it better was Caspar, because I really, really like him. But overall, I was really, really happy with the choices. So let's go ahead and grab that green. And I will try not to make this entire video about how much I love Marianne, because I know in previous videos I have talked about her and how much I like her. But she was a character that I really resonated with when I played Three Houses. I'm very, very shy. I love animals. And I absolutely love her growth throughout the course of the game, from the pre and the post time skip. And I think that she has probably the best supports in the entire game. I never saw a bad one on her. So yeah, she's a character that's very, very dear to my heart, and I have saved so many skill books for her, not knowing what type of unit she would be. So I'm fully ready to trick her out whenever we get her. And I'm 100% sure that I will use my spark on her. I do love the other characters too, but I've been waiting so long for her that I really want to get her to at least +1. And that is an Ileana. You know, I wonder if that's a sign that we're going to see Ingrid next because of the Forging Bonds. I was so blown away with the writing for the Forging Bonds this time. I usually think that they're all pretty good, but this one was one that every single path was so entertaining. I really loved all the interactions, and I was just so impressed. So I was really, really happy with it. But to be quite honest, I'm happy with like a lot of the things with the state of Fae right now. I think this most recent update was really, really good with all of the divine codes that we're getting. All the paths are fantastic, and I love that they increased the friends list a little bit. They could have done a little bit more, but it was a good start. And we had the refines too. And I've been waiting so long for that La Rochelle refine, and quite honestly, it wasn't like everything that I had hoped for, but it was really, really good. And I think that my La Rochelle has improved with the skills that I've given her. And they also gave us Leon and Aira, which were characters that I'd been waiting for too. So overall, fantastic update. I was super, super excited with it, and I'm really happy with all the things that they've done lately. Okay, smoke. Did you? We did it. I'm so sorry. I couldn't resist saying that. Oh, but I am so happy. Oh, he's plus attack. Oh my goodness. So let's go ahead and back out, and we will keep going. And from now on, I think we'll snipe blue whenever we can, just because we got our Dedue, and I really want to maximize the chances of getting Marianne if I can. And that is a Mordecai, so hopefully that's a good sign. So we'll back out. And you know what? I think that I've talked enough about the banner that we can go ahead and move on to all the viewer questions for the day. And as always, if I do not get to yours, I am so sorry. And if I keep missing yours, just let me know, because I do keep a list, but I miss things sometimes. So just give me a heads up if I keep missing yours. And if we're going through these and you think of something you want to ask me, you can leave it in the comments with #questions, and I will be happy to answer. So my first question today comes from Lizenstein, and they ask, how excited are you for Marianne coming to Heroes? And do you think we'll ever get Legendary Xander? So this question was asked before this trailer came out, so this is probably in regards to Brave Marianne, but I am so excited for all the Mariannes. I did vote for Marianne to be a brave unit, and I'm really hoping that we'll see her with like Blute Gang or something creative like that. I think it would be very interesting. And I will honestly be happy with whatever they do because it is Marianne, but I'm super, super excited. And as for Legendary Xander, goodness, I hope we see him at some point. We have Legendary Ryoma, and I feel like Xander is a character that's important enough to Fates that he does deserve it. So I would love to see him with Bulwark as a flyer, but any version of him at this point will make me happy. But thank you for all those great questions. And the next question on my list today, there are a couple for me from Octo Gamer Girl. And they are, if you could cosplay 5 Fire Emblem characters, who would you do? Who are your favorite female characters? And what are your 5 favorite Fire Emblem songs? All right, so for the first part of your question, who I would cosplay, I don't see myself ever doing cosplay, but if I did, I would have to say Halloween La Rochelle, maybe Louise or Leanne, just because I feel like it would be an easier cosplay to do. Marianne, and just because it's a running joke, I would say Bantu. But then for the next part of your question about my favorite female characters, I would say La Rochelle and Sarah. Marianne is definitely up there. Alencia, because she's my favorite Tellius character. And I would say Lucina, because she is the best daughter. And then for the last part of your question about my favorite songs, my favorite Fire Emblem song of all time is Dusk Falls, but I also really like A Light and End of All from Fates. And then I also really like Endless Battle, and I adore God Shattering Star. But thank you for all of those great questions. And the next question on my list today comes from Haora, and I'm so sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. And they ask, are there any upcoming characters that you look forward to pulling in Genshin? Oh my goodness, there are so many. For characters that have not been added to the game yet, I am looking forward to Yao Yao, just because her character is adorable. Speaking of adorable characters, we got Best Girl. Oh my goodness, she said we're stuck with her, but we're not stuck. And she is minus attack, but she's going to be the tankiest Marianne in the world. And we are sparking for her, so she's not going to be minus attack, actually. So I am so, so happy with this. But to get back to Haora's very lucky question, I really want Yao Yao because she is adorable and she's going to be Dendro. I really want Yunjin because she is like the Liyue version of Barbara, and I like her design, and I also didn't get Zhongli, so she's supposed to be like a Geosphere, so that'll be helpful. And as for characters that are already in the game that I want, I love Jean. She is my favorite female character. I'm actually willing to spend gems on her, so those are all the characters that I really want right now. But thank you for that very lucky question. And the next question on my list today comes from Jeremiah Cruz, and they ask, if there's anything you would change in Golden Deer's route, what would it... Oh my goodness. I think we got another lucky question. We got Ingrid. All right, let's check IVs. And she is minus speed, but you know what? I will take that. It might just be a plus defense kind of day. So we will keep going. And to answer Jeremiah's lucky question about what I would change with Golden Deer, I think the biggest thing for me was the way that Dimitri was treated. I was very, very unhappy with it. Even if he had to meet the same fate, I feel like it was very rushed and very abrupt. And if they maybe had some lead up to it, if it were more emotional, I think that I would have handled it better. But I didn't like the way they did it. In best case scenario, he would have been okay and paired up with Claude, and it would have been like both of them against all the evils of the world. So that's what I would have preferred to see. And other improvements that I think could have been made were more of an explanation of the dubstep people. I feel like that was still a lot of stuff up in the air. And I would also like to see more of more of a retelling of Claude's parents' backstory, because I feel like there was a lot of story there and it would have been very interesting. So yeah, that's all the improvements that I would have liked to see in the route, but it's still my favorite and I still love it. But thank you for your very lucky question. Okay, let's see if we can get a Linhardt. Okay, Smoke. And that is a Kaguro. That's fine. He'll come home eventually, probably. So we can answer the next question on my list. And this comes from Benji. And they ask, what is the best pity breaker that you've ever had? You know, for me, I would have to say when regular Claude pity broke me in my summons for Dancing Xander. It was that kind of scenario where if I had to get pity broken, he was like the best possible pity breaker. And I was just so incredibly shocked. I was not expecting it at all. And it just made me so incredibly happy. So thank you for that question because it brought back a lot of great memories. And we have another question on our list today, which comes from Ethan Shepard. And they ask, would you ever consider recording a playthrough of Fire Emblem? And what are your thoughts on Edelgard? So for the first part of your question, I don't think I'm cut out to do Let's Plays, but I have thought about streaming. And most recently, I was thinking about streaming my legendary Claude pulls, but I'm like the least tech-savvy person in the entire world, and I could not get it all figured out in time. But I would think about maybe doing Fae, like short streams or something like that, but not 100% sure. And for the second part of your question, my thoughts on Edelgard. All right, so I think she is an unbelievable unit. She's like super busted, very, very strong in Fae and in Three Houses. But I don't have a lot of an attachment to her as a character because I played her route last, and I grew an attachment to Dimitri and Claude. I have a different opinion of her, so she is not my favorite, and I'm sorry because I know why people love her and I completely understand it, but I have to be honest, and that's kind of how I feel about her. But thank you for all of those great questions. And the next question on my list today comes from Jason Mock, and they ask, what Fae character do you hate the most and why? Oh my goodness. So from a character standpoint, it has to be Surtur. I just feel like he has no redeeming qualities. I don't like him. So that's how I would answer that. But as for characters that I hate to fight, this is tough because it's a character that I absolutely love. I love using him. I adore him character-wise. But my goodness, Brave Hector is hard to deal with. There are just so few counters to him, and in Arena Assault, if I have already used my Brave Claude, I have such a hard time with him. And with the addition of these save skills, he is just so difficult. So I would say Brave Hector, even though I love him so much as a character to use. But thank you for that great question. And you know what, let's pull this blue, and I'm probably going to be silly and try for 2 more blues after this, even though it's not cost efficient, but we do all the silly things for our favorites, and that is a silly. So let's back out, and we probably have time for like 1 or 2 more questions. So the next one today comes from Young Ant AP, and they ask, what is the memorable moment in the Fire Emblem cast from the actors, and why was it significant? So for me, I think that it was discovering Joe Zija and all of his Golden Deer propaganda. I was already a Golden Deer girl before I found his videos, but he's so funny and so talented. And watching him build a Golden Deer gingerbread house just gave me life. So that was kind of my favorite discovery within the Fire Emblem community. But thank you for that great question. So we're at the 40, but we're going to pull these next blues because we're silly. Okay, Smoke. Marianne. Tail to you. You know what? That's actually totally fine because I'm working on building a Tail to you because she's the character that I loved so much in FE4, so I'm happy to get some copies of her. Okay, 3-star. And we get an Altena. So we'll go ahead and back out. And we can use our Spark. And of course, we are going for Marianne. And I'm so happy that we can do this so that I can fix that attack bane. Oh, I love this feature so much. Yay! Oh, her art is so wonderful. Oh, I love her. All right, so you know what? I think that we can go ahead and end things here. We got a +1 Marianne along with the other characters that are 5-star on this banner, so I am just so happy with how this went. So I want to wish you the best of luck on this banner and the Hero Rises that we have coming up. It's looking to be a fantastic banner. So I really hope that you get everything that you are looking for. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.